Canva just launched a ton of new features, and I didn't try them all, but I picked a few which I could immediately see is changing so much in the way I work. It makes my work 10 times easier and faster. Things that were so manual before have become so much more efficient. I'm not even talking about AI. I'm talking about design features, editing features, simple features that you use every day, but now it's so much easier. I wrote down the features here so that we keep referring to them as we go, and I will show you how it works as well. The first one is simply auto select and edit. Basically, it lets you edit an image very intuitively. So when you select an image and you go to edit, you have the Magic Studio, the eraser, the grab, and the magic edit. Now you have this area over here called select area divided into options of click, brush, foreground, background, text. Before you would have to go into, let's say, magic eraser, then select an area and do something with it. You would have to go back and forth between screens. But now you just do it over here. Let's say I don't want this section of the red on the image. So I'm just going to take the brush, select it, and it'll give me options of what I can do with it. So I can grab this area, edit it, and erase it. I'm just going to do magic erase, and it's going to get rid of it, right? I did not have to open a new window, edit it, and come back. I could just remove it here. Now let's see what other options it has. So you can select it with a click. So if I just want to separate like my face from the background, I can just select here. It tells you magic grab, and I do it here, and voila, it's done. Now let's say I want to have different lighting and effect for the two different backgrounds, for the foreground and the background. So I'm just going to select that and select on foreground. And now I can apply some effect to the foreground and it will not affect the background. So it's selecting this and I can just adjust. And let's say I make it very bright. So you see it's affecting only the foreground. It's not touching the background. So earlier I would have to separate it, like do magic grab, separate it, and then apply the effect on the foreground. Now I don't have to separate it. I can just do the effect on it, not touch the background. Similarly with the background, I can select here. It's selecting only this and it says you can remove the background and generate a background. I will come into background generator next. But here you can basically apply effect to both the foreground and background separately. And you can do that with text as well. If you have text in your image, it will select the text and you can extract the text. Let's say I have this and I go to edit. I can go to text and it's selecting all the text that's over here. So I can edit the text as I want. I can erase it and grab text and do something with it. So now it's separated the text part of the image out as just a separate text. The feature of grab text was there before, but now I can select it right from this menu over here. The second feature is editing image colors. You can select an image and it will show you the colors over here that you can change, and you can select it, select one that you want, and then you can change it a little bit. So you can select it and now I want to make it more purple. So now my shirt has become a bit more purple. And if I select this one, I can also make some adjustments here. And now my image looks better than before, right? I only did it by changing two colors. You can imagine how fast that makes your work. The third feature is the background generator. So now let's say I don't want this image in my back, even though it's my home where I shoot my videos usually. But let's say I want a different background, right? What I can do is I go here, and there are many ways of doing it. You can just go background generator over here, or you can just select background over here. It doesn't matter. Either ways, it's the same thing. Change it to a white home office setting with soft hues and generate. Let's see how the setting changes. Look, it's almost like I am sitting in my home office, and it gives you a lot of different options. Like you have this one, this looks more like a corporate office maybe. This one is also nice. And this one, this is so nice. And what you can do is you can select on this light icon over here. Just going to zoom in and show you the option. You can do balanced relight. So it fits it perfectly. So it doesn't look like this image is slapped onto it. And then the hues flew a little bit. It's a subtle difference, but you see it. And then you can do maximum relight. And it changes the color even more. Now it sort of fades into the background. It doesn't look like it's a bum, like a cutout slapped onto something. Okay, again, that is something that is without. This is a balanced relight, and this is a maximum relight. Okay, love this feature. Because earlier, what you would have to also do is separate the background and the foreground and then choose a different background or generate a different background. It was never so good. And now you just select it and you change the background. This is super amazing. The next one is Superscript and Subscript. Now, you might have seen my other video, which is how to Superscript in Canva. It was like, okay, you take separate text boxes. So I'm just going to put here, I'm going to put something like H2O. So earlier, you would have to take the 2 out, make it a separate text box, make it smaller, move it, and basically spend like 5 minutes changing a simple thing. Now, it's just super easy. It's one click. So I click on this, and then I go to text here, and then it says general or typography. So here in general, it is normal. Then that is a superscript. And in this case, we need a subscript. So I'm just going to make H2. There you go. If you want to make it like X square, for example, and then you say, okay, you make this a superscript. So now it's X square. The next feature is kerning. Kerning is actually the space between the letters. So it's not the same as letter spacing exactly that Canva has. It's slightly different. So if I do letter spacing here, then it just increases the spaces like this. But the kerning, what it does is that if there is an uneven space between 2 letters compared to the rest, then it fixes it. So for example, I'm going to zoom in here so you can see. I just wrote this random text here. Now you see that there is a lot of space between, this word looks like very spaced out, but here it looks a little bit closer. So the gap between R and Y, for example, is very little, right? Compared to the gap between I and N. So what it does is it tries to fix it a little bit. If I go here, it just adds a little more space, tries to make it more uniform overall. This is when your text is not looking really nice, right? And you need to add space, like a little space between 2 letters. So then you don't have to make a separate text box and then, put it next to it and do all of that. You can just click on kerning. The next one is called Ligature. Ligature is basically combining specific characters elegantly. So it's just trying to format your text in a way so that it looks nicer. It flows a little bit nicer. This is something that the Canva community has asked for a long time. And while it doesn't seem like a big deal for a lot of fonts, for some fonts, this might be really, really helpful. So now I'm just going to show you if I have this clicked, right? This is without Ligature and I click on it. And now you see how it makes it prettier. It just compact, brings it together. And if I go again back, you see they're more spread out and floating. And now it's a little bit more compact and elegant. So that is another key feature that can help you when you're creating fun fonts and text for your designs, like your brand designs. This makes it nicer, gives you the flexibility of Illustrator without you having to actually use Illustrator. The next one is doc banners, which is essentially if you have a Canva doc and then you have a little banner on top, it can make it a banner for the whole page, right? You just have to click it one and it makes it the banner for the whole page. So you just click on that and you click on these 3 dots and it says set as banner. And then it just adapts it on the top as a banner or like a header. And the last one is my favorite. Like, I'm so happy Canva finally did this. It was just so long in the making. This is basically when you want to adapt for different formats. Let's say I want to resize this and I want to create a whiteboard with this image. I would have to create a separate file and then I would have to do it as a whiteboard. Even as Canva Pro, I would have to go on Resize and then either choose to resize this as a whiteboard or copy and resize a whiteboard to a different file. Now you just do it in the same format. So you can just go here to the page, right click, resize, choose whiteboard, and then it just adds a whiteboard in the same design. So if you see your pages now, the first one is the image and the next one is the whiteboard. After Canva Create dropped to like about 60 odd tools yesterday, at quick glance, these are my top 9 features that I think would save me the most amount of time. Let me know what you think. And if you want to get more details on how you can repurpose your existing design into different other designs within the same file, check out my next video. The thumbnail is over there and I will see you there.